My next guest takes on Alan Jouban at UFC on Fox 28 coming up here on February 24th. It is Ben Saunders joining me here on the program. Ben, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Good to talk to you. Now, I know you just had a smoothie. I got to know what type of smoothie you're having these days.
Garden of Luck, man. Garden of Life with some almond milk and some blueberries. Delicious.
I was going to say that does sound delicious. Now it makes me want to go get one right now. But Ben, it's been a while since we've seen you in the cage, man. You haven't fought since last May 2017. What's sort of been the reason for the layoff?
Oh man, dude, I was trying to fight in like November, December, the latest. I thought for sure I had secured a spot for December, and then the closer we got, I guess, it's the name of the game. Everybody's gunning to try to get a fight before the end of the year, and before the holidays and Christmas and get that last payday in. And unfortunately, it did not work out in the cards for me, man. I was really bummed out about that. I thought I was going to end up fighting in January, but then when they ended up announcing that they were going to be in Orlando, Florida, I was like, all right, whatever, man. I'll wait till the end of February. I don't care. Like, you're going to do my hometown. I got to be on that card. So here we are.
That's great. Yeah, obviously it's at least you're returning on a card that you really wanted to be on, which is always nice. Now, last time we saw you in the cage, of course, things didn't go your way against Peter Sabata. Just looking back on that fight, what did you sort of take away the most that you can bring into this fight?
Man, the greatest thing I think you could take out of that fight is, dude, you're going to have to murder me. Yeah. You're never going to ever be able to get me to stop trying to take you out. It's never going to happen. And, I on top of obviously heart and grit, man, my technical composure and experience to be able to not only come back from, man, getting dropped in the first 10 seconds, but start pressuring and start trying to win the round, which I thought I was actually doing until I got caught again. But, man, once he caught me again, he jumped into my guard. And how many people get rocked and still win the last minute of the last round off their back when their guy is nothing but defense, and the guy off his back is going to work. So there's a lot of positive that I took away from that fight. Like I said, dude, it was an unfortunate circumstance, and it ended up being an uphill battle right from the get-go. 10 seconds in, it was like, okay, well, is that, like, literally thinking to myself, is that a 10-8 round right now? Jesus, I got to come back, like, really hard to try to even secure and win this round, which I still tried to do. I never ran. I never tried to just do defense and run away or anything like that, dude. You're definitely going to have to take me out with a shotgun to get me to quit.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was, good performance regardless. And of course, now you're fighting Alan Jouban. Now, I know this isn't an ideal situation because I know you and Alan trained together a little bit in the past, and you guys have a mutual friend in Eddie Bravo, who I know won't be involved in this fight. Is that kind of a bummer in a way? Just, you're on this card, which I'm sure you're glad about, but you're fighting Alan.
Yeah, man, that's honestly the biggest bummer of it all. To get on this card, I straight up told Sean Shelby, dude, anybody. I don't care who they are. I'll be the first. You can give me a nobody, and I'll be the first fight on the prelims. I just want to get on this card. It's been a dream. This is the third time UFC's come to Orlando at the Amway. I tried to get on both cards before. It didn't play out right. This is the third time. I better get on this card, whatever it takes. And then they gave me Allen, and I was like, I said anybody. And Eddie was like, tell him you guys are teammates. I'm like, I will, man, but I also told him I'd fight anybody. And then when I hit him back, I mean, dude, it is what it is. Sean Shelby does an amazing job, but it is very difficult, to try to have, in this day and age, a lot of people train with a lot of different people. So it's really hard to get people that don't know anybody to fight each other. We're both professionals. We are, it is what it is. That's what Eddie said. He's going to step out. It's all good. Me and Jouban are we're gonna throw down, and we already agree we're gonna have a beer after.
That's good. That's awesome.
Winner buys.
Yeah, for sure. Who have been some of your main training partners for this camp coming up here on February 24th?
Oh man, I've had a bunch of guys out here. Obviously, I've actually even had Mike Perry out here, man.
Oh, nice.
Cause
Okay.
he trained, yeah, dude. Perry trains here locally with my friend Julian Williams at Fusion Excel. So obviously them fighting each other. I get a little inside info from him and his corner and his camp and my friends and whatnot. I got Jose Figueroa. Julian Williams, Philip Rowe, Eric, man, Jason Patino, Jason Carapoli. Dude, I got way too many people. I literally got a squadron of like 6 squads, like almost 6 camps if you include my strength and conditioning coach as well. Like I said, dude, I'm from Orlando, and I'm one of literally, I guess you could say, kind of one of the originators. What's his name was the OG as far as Dean Thomas, but I came and moved here to work with him, and then he moved away. But ever since then, dude, like, I'm hands down one of the original MMA guys to help bring MMA in Orlando. And now I literally got friends that we all came up with, but then they all ended up kind of going around town and open up their own gyms a little bit. So I got like 5 different gyms that I'm working with right now, and it's beautiful.
That's great, man. Sounds like a lot of different looks. What is it like to get to train with Mike Perry? A very intense guy. We see him on the weigh-ins and everything. Must be pretty fun.
Oh, definitely fun. Not a lot of people don't realize this, man, but he's super humble, or at least to me, and my experience with him is, he's very humble. But he's a fighter, dude. He is. It is what it is, and if you're gonna sign a contract to fight the man, don't get mad when he opens his mouth against you.
Right.
That's
exactly.
the only thing. But that's because you guys signed a contract. It is what it is.
How do you see this fight playing out on February 24th? I mean, you're going to get the win, otherwise you wouldn't have taken the fight, but how do you sort of see it unfolding?
Man, dude, I'm the pick your poison fighter. Where do you want to lose? You can lose on the outside. I can kick you in the face and knock you out. I can knock you out with my hands, my knees, my elbows. I can't take you down, which most people don't realize, but I definitely do have wrestling because it's in my arsenal. I got good takedown defense. And my jiu-jitsu, I think, is the best in the game, at welterweight right now. So, dude, you name it, man, and I can definitely finish it there. I think Alan is a very tough and talented opponent. But I've just been in the game since the beginning, man. I've been in the game way too long. I have way too much experience. And where his strengths are, I feel I'm better at. But I also have great strengths in spots that he's not very, a super expert at. He's going to be dangerous everywhere, though. He's got, he's a brown belt under Eddie, so he's got chits off his back for sure. He predominantly is a kickboxer, but he will take down too, man. I honestly think we got similar styles in a lot of ways. I just feel that I'm taller, I'm longer, I'm more experienced, and I'm, unfortunately, better in every, aspect of the game. But none of that matters because it takes one shot to change the tide of the fight and make it in his favor. So as long as I'm on my point and I'm sharp with my game, it's going to be a good night.
Last question before I let you go. You're a big Street Fighter 2 fan. I know growing up you were playing that video game. It seems like arcades are making a comeback. I'm seeing these barcades everywhere. Have you played Street Fighter at all in the last couple of years? Because even where I live here in Toronto, they got a barcade there, and I was playing Guile the other day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bigger fan of the old school 2D. Obviously, they got 4 and they got 5, which is 3D, but it's also really 3D, 2D. Like, they are three-dimensional, but it's still 2D platform as far as you just going left and right. I think they're great, man. I'm still kind of a big fan. My problem with fighting games is I have a real hard time committing to one, and there's so many good ones out there. And if you don't commit, man, you're just going to get massacred. Good luck going online against people that spend their lives, playing
it's
the game
impossible.
and know the characters ins and outs in the combos. Dude, and I'm trying to look like, dude, there's Mortal Kombat, there's Street Fighter, there's Tekken, and now there's EA Sports, man. And now they just came out with EA EA Sports UFC 3, which I get to play as myself, which is awesome. But they changed some of the mechanics of the game, so you have to relearn the game.
Oh, I know.
And the differences between the second and obviously the first game, and it keeps evolving. So it's like, man, like which one do you want to commit time to learning?
No, I agree with you there. Now, you mentioned the 2D Street Fighter. Was it Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo? Which one was your go-to?
Damn, I grew up on Sega. My best friend, I had two of my best friends since third grade. One of them went Sega, and I went Sega, and my other one went Super Nintendo. And I pretty much regret everything. I was still a Sega fan, dude. I had Sega CD, and then I even bought and got the Sega 32X, which was the biggest expensive ripoff. I think it was like
I know, and they only made a couple of games for it. It was brutal.
Only a couple of games, and it wasn't like such a dramatic improvement. We're not on the high definition televisions or anything.
Yeah.
It was like, what did I just put? Dude, I could have got a Super Nintendo for the price of this 32X, and we would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We would have both.
They ripped us off back in the day. I know what you mean. And the N64 came out shortly after that, too. So it's like, you know, we all kind of got ripped off there.
Oh, big time. And the games, and obviously Super Mario 3D was the first time a 3D world hit. But the biggest problem was, man, I didn't really come from money at all. So, like, it was like Christmas would be like when you could get a Sega. And then they would combine, like, I have a twin brother, but my birthday is April 13th, and his is April 14th because we were born 4 minutes apart. And he was 11:58, and I was 12:02. So that's really cool there. But, like, sometimes they would combine either our birthday gifts together, or they would combine our Christmas gifts together and be like, oh, well, here's a Sega CD now. Oh, well, here's the 32X. Well, when we built this monster of a system and Sega CD 32X with the Sega Genesis, and then we tried to convince my grandparents that all that was garbage and we needed a new Nintendo 64 that came out, that did not go over very well. Sega got us. Yeah, Sega got us.
For sure. Well, everyone's got to check out this fight. It's a UFC on Fox 28 coming up here February 24th. Ben, it was great getting a chance to talk to you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody that wants to keep in touch, man, you name it, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter is at Ben Saunders MMA. Shout out to my sponsors, On It, Get On It, and Garden of Life. And anybody that wants to get some KB wear and some Killer Bee shirts or any gear or whatnot to show your support leading into this fight, go to kb-wear.com and get your shirts.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.